Have you ever noticed a woman standing just a little closer to you than most people normally would? Maybe you're at a party, at a bar, or even just waiting in line at Starbucks, and suddenly, she's in your personal space. You start to wonder, is she doing this on purpose? Does it actually mean something? Or is it just random? Well, here's the truth that most men don't realize. Psychology has a lot to say about why women stand close to you without even realizing it. And by the end of this video, you'll see that this small detail might reveal far more than you ever imagined. In American culture, personal space matters a lot. Most people like to keep about 2 to 3 feet of distance when talking to acquaintances. Anything closer than that is usually reserved for friends, family, or people you're romantically interested in. So when a woman steps into your bubble, even without thinking about it, her body language may be sending signals of comfort, trust, or even attraction. She might not consciously plan it, but her subconscious is saying something very real. One of the most common reasons behind this behavior is comfort. When a woman feels safe around you, her body naturally relaxes, and she doesn't feel the need to maintain distance. People don't lean toward others they feel uncomfortable with. So if she naturally closes the space between you, it often means you've created an environment where she feels at ease. She might not even realize she's doing it, but her body is communicating, "I trust you. I feel safe here." That alone speaks volumes. But it gets even more interesting when you factor in attraction. Psychologists have long studied how body language reveals feelings before words ever do. Standing close to you is one of those subtle, almost unconscious cues of attraction. She doesn't have to say, "I like you." Instead, her body says it for her. And here's the thing, women often prefer to send signals this way rather than being direct. Why? Because it allows her to gauge your reaction without risking outright rejection. If you notice the closeness and respond well, she knows the connection is mutual. Another fascinating explanation involves something called mirror neurons. These are specialized brain cells that essentially copy the behaviors of the people you feel connected to. When someone is emotionally in sync with you, their body often starts to mirror your movements and even your distance. If you step a little closer and she doesn't back away, or even leans in herself, it shows her brain is unconsciously syncing with yours. That kind of closeness isn't random. It's biology working behind the scenes to create a sense of connection. Sometimes, standing close isn't even about romance at first. It's simply a way to break the ice. Imagine you're at a crowded event. Instead of shouting across the noise, she steps closer to talk more comfortably. But here's where psychology adds a twist. Even if it begins as a practical move, the physical closeness can build a sense of intimacy. Research shows that proximity alone increases the likelihood of emotional bonding. So even casual closeness can spark connection if the chemistry is already there. There's also a psychological element known as boundary testing. Sometimes, a woman will deliberately step a little closer just to see how you respond. If you get nervous, flustered, or move away, she instantly learns something about your confidence. But if you stay calm, relaxed, and natural in that moment, you're showing her that you're comfortable with intimacy and that you can handle closeness without losing composure. That kind of confidence is magnetic, and women pick up on it instantly. Of course, not every case of standing close means attraction. Cultural and social habits play a role too. In many parts of the world, people simply stand closer to one another than Americans are used to. But here in the United States, where personal space is valued, if a woman chooses to stand close to you specifically, it's usually personal. She could be drawn to your confidence, your energy, or even just enjoying the conversation. Either way, it's still a choice, and that choice is significant. And let's not forget the raw power of chemistry. Sometimes there's no thought process involved at all. When two people connect, their bodies naturally move closer. Think about the times you've been locked into a conversation that had you completely engaged. Without even realizing it, you lean in, your gestures get bigger, and before you know it, you're standing just inches away. That's chemistry taking over, and often, it happens before either person consciously notices. Picture this. You're hanging out with friends, just having a normal conversation. A woman joins the group, and at first, she's at a polite distance. But as the conversation continues, she drifts closer. Maybe her shoulder brushes yours, or she leans in when she laughs at your joke. She never says the words, "I like you," but her body just told you everything. These small, almost invisible shifts in space can sometimes be louder than words if you're paying attention. So what should you actually do if you notice a woman standing close to you? The first rule is simple: don't overthink it. Closeness is usually a positive sign, but it doesn't always mean she's head over heels for you. Sometimes it's just comfort, sometimes it's habit, and sometimes it is attraction. The key is to look for clusters of signals. Is she also making strong eye contact, smiling more than usual, touching her hair, or lightly brushing against you? When multiple signs start stacking up, that's when you can be more confident that her closeness is attraction rather than coincidence. And here's the most important part: respond with confidence. Don't jump back like you're nervous, and don't act awkward. Keep your posture open, your voice calm, and your body language relaxed. If she's comfortable being close to you, mirror that comfort. That doesn't mean making sudden moves. It means letting the closeness happen naturally while you continue the flow of conversation. When you can stay grounded in that moment, you project the kind of confidence that women find highly attractive. At the end of the day, standing close to someone is rarely random. Our brains are wired to protect personal space, so when someone steps into yours, it's meaningful. Whether it's a sign of comfort, attraction, or subconscious chemistry, her body is sending you a message that her words might not reveal. The challenge is whether you notice it and how you respond when you do. So the next time a woman stands close to you, pay attention. It might be her way of saying, without a single word, "I like being near you." And if you're confident enough to recognize those subtle cues, you'll never see body language the same way again. If this breakdown opened your eyes to the psychology of attraction, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because I share more tips on relationships and psychology every single week. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a woman stand close to you and wondered what it really meant? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to read your stories.